Hi Chris here, welcome to another camera comparison. So this time it is the Realme X2 Pro up against the Xiaomi Mi Note 10. So for front-facing cameras we have 32 megapixels on the Xiaomi, up against 16 on the Realme. Both of them here with video you can see lack any form of electronic image stabilization, which is a shame, but it could possibly be added in firmware, and I hope they do that in the future. So in this particular comparison I'm going to be going over low light photography. We're going to have a look at the video with the rear cameras as well, but you can hear right now with me swapping over to the audio sources that the Xiaomi isn't the best here with the audio. I think it's far superior on the Realme X2 Pro here because it's using a much higher bit rate. So we've got on the rear a 64 megapixel camera on the Realme X2 Pro and a 108 megapixels on the Xiaomi Mi Note 10. 4K 30 frames per second here. The Realme X2 Pro does support 60 frames per second, but of course it has a more potent chipset, and that is why. Now we get a wider field of view on the Xiaomi here, which does have optical image stabilization. Audio quality, to me, clearly, it is way better, superior on the Realme X2 Pro. Now if you're wondering where I'm shooting right here, this is just in the entrance of the Castle of Denia. We'll have a look at the stabilization. I'm just going to jog ahead. I think it comes through definitely better on the Xiaomi, aided by the fact that it's got that optical image stabilization as well on that huge 108 megapixel sensor. So with both of them you can shoot ultra wide video, but on the X2 Pro it wants to just shoot in 1080p only. Not to say that it actually looks amazing, the video quality as well ultra wide on Xiaomi. The Mi Note 10 looks like it could actually be shooting also in 1080p and just upscaling it. And we're getting quite a bit of wind noise here as well on both of these mobiles. So both of these phones do have their ultra steady mode or super stabilization that Xiaomi calls it, which I'm using now. There's an advantage on the X2 Pro because it is shooting in 60 frames per second, and I'll run ahead now. I think the footage looks slightly better on the Realme X2 Pro, but it seems more steady actually on the Mi Note 10. And now a bit of low light video here as well. So both of them are struggling in these conditions. It's about 8 PM at the moment, so it is pitch black. Moon is not out, so this is all artificial lighting. Okay, so let's recap here. This is actually a lot easier than I thought. So for selfie shots, the clear winner to me is the Mi Note 10, also with low light, Mi Note 10. Video stability, Mi Note 10 as well with its 4-axis optical image stabilization. Audio, I feel, is slightly better on the Realme X2 Pro, but it is also surprisingly better at stills, even using the ultra pixel modes on both of them. So that's the 108 megapixels and then the 64 megapixels. I found that the Realme X2 Pro just had a little bit less noise, captured details, and a bit of a sharper image overall, even in that 64 megapixel mode versus the 108. So all up, if you want the best stills, get the X2 Pro for daylight stills, that is. And for all the rest, I would get the Mi Note 10. But of course, big difference in performance when you take a look at gaming and everything else, because the X2 Pro has a Snapdragon 855, something the Xiaomi Mi Note 10 should really have, and I can't wait to see the 108 megapixel sensor in a phone with a Snapdragon 855 Plus.